The very first step is clicking on the link that's provided in the description. Once you click on that link, this is the website that you would get to. All you need to do is first agree so that you can proceed and hit next. Here you would get an option as to what kind of an ABN entitlement that you're going for. For a YouTuber or anyone trying to do a passive income, the best option is to go for the individual sole trader. Then it asks you whether you would be carrying out the activities in Australia. In our case, it would be yes. Have you started or are you taking steps to start your activity? So this is something that would be dependent on in what stage you are in your passive income journey. So here you could either select yes or no. It doesn't really make a difference. I went for yes. The nature of your activity would be in form of a business because none of the other options actually apply. Is it consistent to running a business? The answer would be yes. And then you hit next. Here they would actually confirm all the options that you have selected and then give you some details as to what you're actually proceeding with. All that you need to do is hit next. So these are the different options that you have in application detail. For taxation purposes, which type of entity is the applicant? In our case, it would be an individual sole trader. Does the applicant have an ABN or previously had an ABN? This would again be dependent on your circumstance, but here I selected for no. You could go for yes, in which case you would have to provide the ABN. Just to keep it simple, I did hit no. Does the applicant wish to apply for an ABN? Well, that's what we are here for. So we hit a yes. Does the applicant have a tax file number? It's very likely if you're an Australian resident, then you have one. All you have to do is hit yes. Since you selected yes in the previous option, obviously you don't wish to apply for a tax file number again. And you hit next. Business information, it asks you whether the applicant, that is you, an Australian resident for the tax purpose. In most cases, it would be yes, but it would depend on your circumstance. Are you using a registered agent? Obviously not, because this is basically for individuals who want to apply for an ABN. So there's nothing that we need to fill in here. Associate details, you just fill in your details here. If you have a TFN, you can actually put the TFN here. It says then it would make the process faster. But for this demo purposes, I'm not actually putting a TFN here. Then you hit next. From what date does the individual sole trader require its ABN? It defaults to the current date. Then if you intend the business activity to be less than 3 months, I don't think that's really required. We can actually keep it blank. Now, these are some things that are specific for YouTube. Describe the individual sole trader's main business activity. Whatever you fill in here is approximated to fill in this drop down. So I put online streaming, and then I got these two options, and I opted for audio and visual media streaming. Does the individual sole trader operate an agricultural property? This would again depend on your circumstance, but in most cases it would be a no. And then you hit next. You put in your address here, and here it would ask you whether your postal or the business address same. In most cases it would be yes, because we are YouTubing, so it's unlikely that we have a different business address. So depending on your circumstance, you can actually select either of the two options. I just put a dummy email here. Does the individual sole trader have more than one business location in Australia? In most cases, it would be no. Now here, they'll ask for a mobile number. You can just select your mobile number and put this information if you want, but just putting the email should be sufficient. And then you hit next. We are almost done with the application. It'll ask you select the reason that best describes why the individual sole trader is applying for an ABN. We have two options that could be relevant for us. Make the best choice you can. I selected new business in Australia because I want to diversify outside of YouTube. But if you're just restricting yourself to YouTube or probably other services where a third party is going to pay you, probably you can select to receive payment for services. But I guess new business in Australia is a catch-all good option. Is this individual sole trader's first time in business in Australia? Again, this depends on your circumstance, but In my case, it was a no. And then you hit next. This takes you to the declaration page. You just put your name and just write a positions held. The different options here are public officer, director, office bearer, trustee, partner, member. You can just put director here, put the date of declaration and submit. Now there are two scenarios. One, you might get your ABN immediately, or the ATO might decide on doing some more reviews, in which case it might take some time before you get an ABN. In either case, you can check after a few days on your ATO login. In my case, what ended up happening is I had to wait for a couple of days, but ultimately, when I went to my ATO profile, I could clearly see my ABN there. Now, the question is, why do we need an ABN? Now, on this channel, I'm going to show you different ways of getting passive income in Australia. And most of them, for example, the Amazon affiliate, the Medium publication, even YouTube, they require you to have an ABN. So keeping your TFN and ABN separate is a good idea, because that way you would be able to understand what is your business expense or business earnings. That can be helpful during your tax time towards the end of the year. I hope you like this video. Do subscribe to this channel so that you can go through my passive income journey. I'm at step 1 right now. I wouldn't claim to be someone who is earning thousands of dollars using different passive income methods, but probably 1 year down the line, I would. So this is a good place where you can actually join me on my journey and probably do something similar on your end so that we can together form a community which would help both of us to grow together. What I intend to do is towards end of every month, I would share what my monthly income is. And that way, probably it would either motivate you or let you learn from my mistakes. And this way, you would be able to know what not to do or what to do in this Findependence journey with me, Jijo. Have a good day.